let us all do we can to build a better future.
All right, moving on to the Washington Post. It's an advice column or an op-ed kind of personal thing from somebody who's reporting on the fact that people have lost hope for the next generation. New
Oh
Gallup
no.
poll. Only 42% of U.S. adults think it is very or somewhat likely that today's youths will do better economically than their parents, according to a new Gallup poll. That is an 18 percentage point drop since June 2019.
All right. Now I think we've heard this before about millennials. So not only are millennials, my generation, unable to really own a home or do so much more because again of student debt, medical debt, and many other issues, a struggling economy. Hey, Gen Z, you're in the boat too, but don't worry. Also joining us in the boat are also Gen Xers and Boomers because everyone's losing. Everyone's
Mhm.
going to lose.
Here's the thing, okay? I'm a Gen Xer.
Right.
And we did not, we were a generation that did not anticipate doing better than our parents. And then what happened was the internet hit. And so, and some of us were able to catch the wave, some did not. But I think a lot of us, didn't have much hope. Also, there was the Cold War, and a lot of us, there was a lot of nuclear threads the day after Testament. Of course, back in this, back in the 60s, there was Dr. Strangelove, but a lot of us had been raised up on this threat of nuclear annihilation. But there was that, kind of that period of hope where we thought, well, things are just going to steadily start to improve. We're
Hmm.
seeing that that is not happening here. And one of the things to think about, people who are answering this, okay, what are you going to do about it? What are we all going to do about it? When we've
Hmm.
basically said that we don't have a whole lot of hope for the well being of the next generation. What are we going to do about it? Now, on a personal level, the columnist of the Washington Post, I don't know who she is, but she said, look, all of her kids are adults. They all have college degrees. They all live at home. They have an arrangement with their parents. Their parents are letting them stay at home for a while. They don't have to pay rent, but what they're doing is each kid is required to save half of their income that they're
Hmm.
earning so that they can get themselves launched in life. They don't have student debt. The parents don't have any debt for putting the kids through school. So they're in a very good position, and that household is able to do that. And I'm happy for this household. I think it's a very good plan. If you can do it,
Yeah.
it's a good plan. But think about all the households where that is not possible.
I could think of a million already hearing this story. They are the exception, the very rare of rare
Exception, yeah.
exceptions. But the general rule is millions of Americans are struggling. And look, not to be that person, all right, because I don't
Hmm.
want these words to get twisted. But Gen Z, especially to the younger generation, or either that anyone that will be following after Gen Z, if you hear these words, listen to me very carefully. Um, Affordable education, free college education in the United States is a pipe dream. The politicians won't let it happen. They won't let it happen. They want to keep that economic chain of debt around every single generation. You want to break it, you got to plan your escape. So here's what you're going to do. Listen, old Kit Kat on this one. Plan it out, and I'm not going to say it's going to happen within a year or very soon, but if you want to go get higher education, go overseas. Make it happen. Plan for that. Okay. That'll be the
Hmm.
fight to go overseas and get affordable education. If you can't do that, there's nothing wrong with community college and there's nothing wrong with trade schools. Okay.
Or
But,
apprenticeships.
or apprenticeship. Thank you for that. These four things do that: apprenticeships,
Hmm.
trade schools, community colleges. Nothing wrong with it. Don't let anyone shame you with it. And or use it at go overseas to where college is free or affordable, right? These four things. That's what you have to do. So for the generation that's following, Gen Z, and the next generation that's coming up after, that's how you do not get trapped into the system of debt that severely impacted millennials. It'll be a tough road, and don't let anyone yell at you, and definitely stay away from for-profit schools. There, just want to just that's my public service announcement. All right,
Hmm.
if there's one good thing I'm gonna be at least take credit for, I'm gonna at least give people the heads up. They just do that. Right there you go.
And I'm going to give you a little tip here, as a matter of fact, folks. Many people think that when you go even to the not for profit, the standard state school, or the private college, that they're looking out for you. I'm right now doing some research on a story. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has launched an investigation, is issuing some reports on this. They are finding that institutions of higher education are directing their own students to banking services, credit card services, and other financial products that are actually costing students more than equivalent products that are not targeted to students. And yet, the higher education institutions are working hand in hand with
Mhm.
the purveyors of these costly financial products. You can actually go to consumerfinance.gov, look in the news section. There's a story. There's stories about it. I'm working on it for this show. Hopefully next week I'll have something for you. But it's turned into a racket, and it's very unfortunate to see what's happened with higher education. I'm all for higher education, but
Mhm.
to see the racket that it has become, and
Yeah.
then realizing that they're hand in hand with the banking institutions, not good.
Yeah. So look, audience, look, we got a couple people here in the live stream chat. We got Alan Myron, good friend of the show.
Alan
Alan,
Myron, great man.
yeah, love him to death. Alan, so good to have you here. If my kids didn't have fully funded college, I would push them into apprenticeships. It's a way to go. I'm afraid for my kids. That's why we started saving the day they were born. Now they have fully funded college, assuming the stock market doesn't continue tanking. But we could do it, others can't. And see, that's the thing. Look, this is an exception, right? But I urge the audience, everyone watching, look, if there's people who, Gen Z or following afterwards, if you do have a chance to say, hey, just give them the four options, right? They don't have to go to college here in America. In fact, avoid it at all costs. Apprenticeships, trade schools, community college. There's nothing wrong with community college. Or is it at go overseas to get free college or affordable education, so that way you're not stuck forever in debt that will follow you even after you die, right? And stay away from for-profit schools. Try and do that. But see, the thing is, the American dream, the whole idea was owning a home, but now owning a home is like it's a fool's dream, because you're seeing these corporations and these banks and these rich tycoons buying up all the land, all the farmland, all the houses. Eventually, we're all going to become serfs here in this country. But the idea of generational wealth, as Roger Meadows has said on our show, it's becoming just that, a dream. It's
A
now a
dream.
dream.
Yeah,
Wow.
there it is. Again, this is a wake up call.
Yeah.
Don't resign yourself to your pessimism.
Yeah.
If that's the way you're feeling, and we see that's the way that a lot of other people are feeling, that's a wake up call. And that's a time to say, we don't want to take this any longer.
Yeah.
We want to fight back. And you can fight back at the voting booth, which I did yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But you can also fight back by listening to folks like Roger Meadows,
Mm-hmm.
who is offering a way forward to build good businesses that provide needed products and services to communities while not exploiting workers, and, in fact, allowing workers to get paid what they're worth.
Mm-hmm.
He's moving forward with these cooperatives, with the ballot initiatives. Roger Meadows is the man that people need to be following and
Mm-hmm.
looking into, because we know what he's done for us. He's changed my mind on things. I know with Kira and with everybody here,
Yeah.
there are people like Roger Meadows in your community who have not lost hope, but they do see the need for major structural change, and that is absolutely critical. But don't bathe in pessimism. And yeah, do what you need to individually, but we've got to be civically minded and go forward and make real changes.
I also want to give two more shout outs, and then this will be the final note for
Sure.
for this story. But unless there's anything else you want to
Mm,
add into it. But Wendy Carbello, good friend of the show, community college is awesome. My kid got her first job talking with one of her classmates. She's a professional baker now, part-time while still in school. And then
mhm.
Alan, again, Myron says, my kids also have a choice to go to public university in Mexico, which is basically free, just like my wife it did. I guess just like my wife and my college. That's why we made sure they had dual nationality. All
Well,
right.
there's an idea. Yeah, great
Yeah.
idea.
And so there you go. And it's just, again, folks, just let's try and help each other, at least help the next generation avoid the disaster of student debt, because Washington D.C. and the politicians there, they're not going to help us. They already abandoned us. Simple as that.